this video, we're going over the new best settings to run here in Black Ops 6 Season 1. There's some settings that need to be adjusted, especially if you're trying to improve your aim, accuracy, as well as gun skill. As you can see here, I play with an Xbox Elite controller on PC with one paddle on the back set up for jumping. But these settings are going to work no matter what controller you're playing with, and also no matter what console you are on. Let me know down in the comment section, what are your current sensitivity settings? You guys can see here, I play on the tactical button layout. The reason I play on tactical button layout is because I like to remap my crouch as well as prone buttons by just pressing down on the right thumbstick. This is very important, allowing us to get in and out of cover a lot faster, and also performing a drop shot a lot easier because we can still be aimed down sight, allowing us to win a lot more close range gunfights. This is very important here in Black Ops 6 because of the Omni movement. Now, what we are also doing under the settings is making some changes for your horizontal as well as vertical stick sensitivity. Now, I like to recommend players that are going to be struggling with aim, accuracy, and gun skill to play within the 4 and 6 sensitivity window. This is going to be perfect because you're going to have the mobility to essentially turn on other players if they are behind you, but we're also going to have that stability and accuracy to win gunfights at longer ranges, because that's where a lot of players are going to be falling short. There are some other settings that you want to run within this 4 to 6 sensitivity window that are going to enhance your long range performance. We're going to be going over that in this video as well. Now, all these settings here are going to be pretty much the same. I've not messed with my simplified controls preset. All these are going to be turned off because they are going to be hindering your performance. Now, what you also want to do, and this is going to be a recommendation, is if you are really struggling with your aim, accuracy, and gun skill at longer ranges, turn off your controller vibration. I've been having my controller vibration turned off since Call of Duty World at War because I do not want to have any unnecessary movement in my controller that could potentially throw me off at those long range gunfights. Now, for the dead zone settings, these are going to be dependent on your own controller's health. I play with an Xbox Elite controller. These are quite durable, and I have 0 stick drift, so I do not need to make any adjustments under the dead zone setting, luckily. Now, for the aiming tab, we're going to be making some major adjustments which are going to be drastically improving your gameplay for the better. Now, your sensitivity multiplier, make sure you guys go ahead and select this tab, drop it down, because there's some settings here that have to be changed that I know a lot of people are not changing. Everything here is going to be pretty much the same. Do not mess with it, but you definitely want to adjust your ADS sensitivity multiplier as well as your ADS sensitivity multiplier when you are focused. If you're playing on the 4 to 6 sensitivity window, which I do recommend playing on if you're trying to drastically improve your aim, accuracy, and gun skill, you want to scale this based on your sensitivity. Now, if you are playing on a 4 sensitivity, I recommend going ahead and dropping it from the 1.0, which is default, to a 0.75. If you are playing on a 5 or a 6 like I am, I recommend going ahead and scaling it to a 0.65. The reason you want to do this is because as you are increasing your sensitivity, you want to reduce this multiplier so you are more accurate at longer ranges and there's less stick play in your controller. This is going to drastically improve your aim, accuracy, and gun skill where it counts. So again, if you are playing on a 4, remove the 1.0, swap it to a 0.75. If you guys are playing on a 5 or a 6, drop it to a 0.65. This is a setting combined with the proper sensitivity and some other settings we're going to go into in this vid that are going to make a drastic immediate improvement to your gameplay. Now, everything else here is going to be the same. Your advanced aiming settings, we're going to go ahead and look at these. Look inversion, I've not made any adjustments under these. You don't have to go ahead and make any adjustments. But for ADS sensitivity transition, you want to make sure this is on instant. Sometimes it's on gradual. You want this to be on instant. For your third person, this could be the same, doesn't really matter. For your aim assist response curve type, I know a lot of players like to go ahead and play on linear or dynamic. Linear is going to be the preferred setting from Modern Warfare 2 and 3. So if you have gotten so used to linear that you do not want to change it, you can go ahead and run linear, but you are going to have to make an adjustment when you go to the show more tab. You're going to want to drop this response curve slope to 0.31 so you can snap on players a little bit easier. But for me personally, I enjoy standard in Black Ops 6. I am somebody who was running linear from Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, but in Black Ops 6, standard is my go-to, and I'm used to it now, so that's what I'm running. But if you like linear, there are some adjustments that you can go ahead and make. Now again, all these are going to be the same here. I've not messed with any of these settings. Now your target aim assist is obviously going to be turned on. Your motion sensor behavior is going to be turned off, and your motion sensor advanced settings, these are all pretty much going to be the same. I've not made any changes here, and you definitely do not want to go ahead and adjust these whatsoever. Now we're going to go ahead and adjust some movement settings. For your sprint assist, tactical sprint assist, I like to go ahead and have this enabled just so I can get around the map a little bit faster and overall speed up my gameplay. For show more, what you want to do here is make sure your sprint assist delay is set to 0. Otherwise, there will be a delay, and you do not want this to happen. Everything else here is going to be turned on. Your mantle assist is going to be turned off. I like to go ahead and turn this off because you do not want to be accidentally mantling over an object and getting killed. So make sure you guys have this turned off. Crouch assist is going to be turned off. Corner slice is going to be off. Slide dive behavior, I like to go ahead and have this on hybrid, which is going to be very, very helpful. It's going to allow you to tap the slide, and it's essentially going to remove a lot of the unnecessary omni movement that could get you killed. So I recommend going ahead and having this on hybrid, and everything else here is going to be pretty much default. I've not made any adjustments here. Your movement advanced setting, you guys can see here, all these are going to be pretty much the same. Vehicle behaviors are also the same. Now for the combat settings, you guys can see all these are essentially going to be default. Obviously my aim down sight behavior is going to be set to hold. You guys can see one thing I did change is for the C4 detonation. I like to have this on 1 by 1, because if you don't actually change this and you're trying to run C4s, you're gonna have to throw both of them at the same time to detonate them, which obviously is an annoyance. So make sure you guys have this set to 1 by 1, and everything else here is gonna be pretty much the same. Not made any other adjustments because they're not necessary to go ahead and switch. So make sure you guys go ahead and copy down these settings if you're trying to enhance your controller gameplay here in Black Ops 6 Season 1. Now let's go ahead and break down the graphic settings, specifically the settings under the View tab. Motion reduction preset is going to be turned off. We are going to be adjusting this ourselves. Now your FOV, I recommend playing on a 100 to 120 FOV. This is going to be giving you a bigger picture, and you can go ahead and couple this with your ADS field of view set to affected. This is very important that you set this to affected. It is independent by default. You do not want to run this. The affected ADS field of view is going to mirror your field of view in game. So if you guys are running an optic or using iron sights, you're gonna see the optic or iron sight in the same field of view that you're playing the game at, which is gonna be very, very important and allowing you to have less visual recoil. If you're wondering how other players seem to be lasering you across the map, no recoil, it's because they are running on a 100 to 120 FOV with the ADS field of view set to affected. When you go ahead and run the 4 to 6 sensitivity window with the proper aim assist response curve type, the proper sensitivity settings with the 0.65 or the 0.75 window with 120 FOV and the ADS field of view set to affected, you're gonna see a massive improvement to your gun skill at any and all range immediately. So make sure you are making this adjustment. Your weapon field of view, you want to make sure this is gonna be on default. Some people like to play on narrow or wide. In all reality, default is gonna make the game feel more natural. That's why I like to go ahead and keep this on default. Third person does not matter. Vehicle field of view does not matter. Make sure your world motion blur and your weapon motion blur are shut off. If you do not have these turned off, there's going to be a very annoying haze on your screen that not only is going to make it harder to see people at longer ranges, but if somebody is in a corner, specifically a dark corner, it's going to make it almost impossible for you to see them. So make sure you have these turned off. These are settings you must shut off here in Black Ops 6, no matter what console or PC you have. Otherwise, you're going to have a very, very bad time on the game. Everything else here is gonna be pretty much the same. Only thing I have went ahead and adjusted is I've inverted the flashbang so it is less annoying. But these are gonna be all of the graphic settings that you absolutely must make changes to here in Black Ops 6 Season 1. Now, don't sleep on the audio settings. They don't call me ears for nothing. There's some audio settings that need to be adjusted here in Black Ops 6 Season 1. There's actually a new setting you must go ahead and enable, or I should say technically disable. Now, for your master game volume, you definitely want to keep this at 100, but I have my gameplay music volume turned down to 30 because it is insanely loud. I don't know about you guys, but they have it cranked up tenfold in this Call of Duty, so I definitely had that shut down. Now, everything else here is gonna be pretty much the same. I have made adjustments under your audio mix. Headphones bass boost is gonna be the absolute best setting, without a doubt, the best setting to run if you have a headset that you have bought within the last 7 years. I have Astro A40TR headsets. It's probably been longer than 7 years since I've had these headsets, but they are absolutely incredible. These are going to be perfect to hear footsteps and gunfire at longer ranges, and in turn allowing you to pinpoint where people are at without the use of a UAV. Now, there is actually a new audio setting here in Black Ops 6 that we're going to go ahead and enable, technically disable, that's going to be allowing you to pinpoint where other people are at on the map a lot easier. That's going to be very easy to do when you do have on headphones bass boost. So if you have an Astro A40TR, like I said, any headset you've bought in the last 7 years, these are dinosaur headsets. These are going to be perfect for the headphone bass boost. Now, everything else here is going to be pretty much the same. I've not made any adjustments, but what you definitely want to do now, this is a new setting, the asymmetrical hearing compensation. Now, we're technically going to be disabling a lot of the unnecessary sounds in game when you do turn this on. You're going to be removing a lot of unnecessary explosions and overall annoyances that go on in the game that are not important to gameplay. So we're going to be able to fine tune footstep and gunfight audio. That's it. That's what we need to go ahead and listen for when running a headset. So make sure you guys have this turned on. Again, it's going to disable a lot of the other annoying audio cues that go on in multiplayer. Everything else here is going to be the same. I've not made any adjustments under the audio setting, but for voice chat volume, I have this turned down. But again, this could be dependent on what you really want to do here. This is all going to be, up to you at this point, because I make content. I'm always live commenting, talking. I don't like to be disrespectful in game chat, so I have my push to talk turned on. Imagine if I was going ahead and making a video with my mic on in game. Outrageous. That's why I go ahead and have this set to push to talk. But again, everything else here is going to be the same. Make sure you guys go ahead and play on headphone bass boost. Doesn't matter what headset you have, go ahead and run this, and you want to go ahead and enable, disable all the other unnecessary sounds that are going on in game. You're going to love Black Ops 6 with these audio settings turned on. And finally, we are going to be going over the interface settings. There's going to be one setting that I do recommend going ahead and swapping, which is going to be drastically improving your gameplay. Everything here under global, you can pretty much leave the same. There's not necessarily anything here that needs to be changed, luckily. Now, for readability, this is all gonna be up to you as well. You can adjust things how you see fit. But for your gameplay HUD, there are a different number of HUD presets you can go ahead and change to. I like to have it set to standard because that's literally what I believe is best for Black Ops 6. But what you also want to do here is make sure your mini map shape is set to square. I know a lot of people like to go ahead and have it on round. You don't want to have it on round. This is going to be allowing you, or I should say preventing you from seeing a larger mini map picture, and you definitely don't want that to happen. You're gonna be able to see people on the map a lot easier, predict spawns a lot easier, and overall enjoy the game a lot more. If you want a video here in Season 1 where I explain how to read and interpret the mini maps, you can kind of judge people are gonna be spawning at and traffic patterns, let me know down in the comment section. I definitely can go ahead and provide that. But again, everything else here is gonna be the same. I've not made any other adjustments under the interface tab because they all do not need to be adjusted. Luckily, there's going to be one thing, and that's going to be the mini map shape. These are going to be the absolute best settings to run here in Black Ops 6 Season 1. If you are struggling with your aim, accuracy, and gun skill, make sure you guys are playing within that 4 to 6 sensitivity window, and also make sure that you are making adjustments under your sensitivity multiplier. Have it scaled accordingly. Remember, if you guys are playing on a 4.75, if you are playing on a 5 or a 6, 0.65. And what you also want to do is make sure you guys are going to your graphics settings, going to your view, and making sure you're playing on that 100 to 100 FOV range with your ADS field of view set to affected. You're gonna see an immediate improvement in your gameplay. And if this video does help you guys out, let me know down in the comment section. And as always, if you want to stay up to date with any and all best settings, best class setups, and any new updates that go live in Black Ops 6, make sure you guys drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.